Hello everyone, today we're gonna see how to control our machine gun. So we can move our machine gun and it's following with the camera. So we're gonna see how to do this. In the previous video we saw how to do the headlight for our vehicle and the spotlight. We also included the reverse light and the brake light. And in the first vehicle we saw how to rotate the camera on our vehicle, but in this video we are going to see how to control our machine gun. So let's just jump right into it. Here we are in our project. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to just hold Control and press L so we can put lights in our level by moving the mouse. So now we can see exactly what's going on. So I added previously to start the video just some edges on the vehicle, not on the vehicle, on the map to make sure we're not falling down in the sky, kind of, I will say. Anyway, so the first thing that we're going to do, we're gonna do our controls for our vehicle. So it's gonna go to my stuff and I'm gonna go to the input and I'm gonna create two new input. So just an input action. And the first input will be called IA underscore vehicle underscore machine gun. And I believe this one is machine gun and it's gonna be underscore up and down. And we're going to create another one, and this one will be same IA underscore vehicle underscore turret underscore, and it's going to be our left and right. So left and right. So we're going to open the machine gun, and here in the machine gun we can obviously just put a little description if we want to. We're going to change the value type for the digital bulb to an axis 1D, and we can save and exit this. Now we're going to go and open the turret left and right, and we're going to call this turret, and we're going to change the digital bulb for an axis 1D, and we can save and exit. Now that we have our new key input, in our game, we're going to go to my input mapping context and we're going to add those key here. So we're going to do one and we're going to search for our IA underscore machine gun up and down, and this one will be the key that you want. No, seriously, it's going to be mouse Y. So we're going to put mouse Y and we're going to do another mapping, and this time we're going to search for the other one, which is our turret left and right. So turret left and right, and this one will be our mouse X and Y. So just search for mouse X and Y, and we're not going to do any modifier unless you will like to have reverse on your gun. So if you wanted a reverse, you will add a modifier and you will put negate here, and you will be able to have your control reverse. But in my case, I don't want that. So I want to, when I go up with the mouse, it's going up and down and down. But if you want reverse, it's where you're going to do that. The next step will be our logic for our vehicle, so we can, do some stuff with our turret. So we're going to do some blueprints. So we're going to go to our master class, and in the master class we're going to go to the event graph. So previously we did the brake, the headlight, and the spotlight. So here I'm just going to move the free look here. So I'm just going to put that a little bit up here, and we're going to start doing some code here for our turrets. So the first one will be our turrets left and right. So we're going to search for IA underscore vehicle, and we are going to take the turret left and right. We're going to zoom to it. So from the trigger, we're going to drag and we're going to search for a branch. And the condition of that branch will be the free look key. And we're going to put that there, right under like this. And we're going to, from this, after that, we're going to add control the input. So we're just going to drag from the value here, and we're going to search for add control, and we're going to take this input here, and because this one control left and right, so we're just going to put that to false here, because if we're not using the free look, we're going to discontrol. If we do use the free look, it's mean that we're not using the control for the turret. right? So we're just going to do a little reroute node so it's looking a little bit better. So here we need to create a few variables. So we're going to create our first variable by clicking on the variable plus here. And the first one will be our turret left and right. And in the type will be a float. And we're going to create another one. And this one will be our turret machine gun. And it's going to be our left and right. So I'm just going to make sure here there's a space. Perfect. So we have our two boolean, not boolean, the two variable that we're going to use. So we are going to take those two here and we're going to put them on the board. So we can just do a get for both of them. So we have a get here. And from both of them, we're going to drag and do a plus. So just search for not equal, but a plus. There we go. And we're going to duplicate this and we're going to repeat the same process for the one below. And the access here from our control would be plugged under right here. Just going to do a little reroute node so it's look better once again. So I can just do a reroute node by double clicking on it. And if you all of that and press Q, it's going to align everything for us so it's look a little bit better. Okay, so we have this here, and now the only thing we have to do is take our turret left and right here, and we can drag it right on the arrow of the add control input, and it's going to set that variable for us. The only thing we have to do now is plug that to our plus for the same, so turret left right with our turret left right. We're going to repeat the same process here once again for the machine gun, and we're going to put that right down here. And here, if we want to see that everything is working, we can always do a print string so we can see exactly what's going on. And here I'm just going to rename the print string. I'm going to put turret left and right. And if we compile that, now we should be able to just test it out. So we're going to go to our map, and if we move, you can see that we have the writing on the side of the screen. The turret doesn't move yet because we have to do the animation, but we can see that the controls are working perfectly for us. So the next step will be just to select all of that, press C on our keyboard to do a comment. And just to remind us what this code is doing, because we may forget at some point when we have too much. So it's very helpful to keep everything organized. So we're going to call that turret machine gun and turret itself left right, which is the axis X, and go like this, and it's combined, so works with the anim BP, right? Because we're going to use those two variables here, and we're going to link that to our anim BP, which is going to make the turret synchronize with our action and the animation at the same time. So what this code is doing for us, well, when we move our mouse left and right, it's going to translate that action value here to the control input, and it's setting those variable, adding that axis value to those variable, and we're setting those variable so we can get the new value each time we are moving, and obviously it's bring that on the screen. So we're gonna see how to do the other one now. So we're going to go down here, and same thing, we're going to search for IA underscore vehicle, and this time it will be our machine gun. So just take the machine gun up and down. Same thing, we're going to drag from trigger and we're going to search for branch. And here we're going to take our free look once again, make sure that we're not using that before using this code. And this time we're going to drag from false. Actually, we're going to drag from the axis value here. I'm going to add control input. but this time is going to be the pitch because the pitch is the up and down. I'm going to plug this to false, and I'm just going to do a little reroute node so it's look better. So here we're going to create a new variable. So we're going to create here on the detail panel for variable, we're going to click on the plus, and we're going to search for, not search, but we're going to create this variable. So we're going to call that turret, and it's going to be the machine gun. It's going to be up and down, and we can just take it and drag it to our board and do a get. And same as previously, we're going to drag from that and we're going to search for plus, so for add, and the add will be this, and we're going to plug the add to the action value. Just going to do a little reroute node so it's look better, and we can all of that together and press Q so it's putting everything in line. Okay, so from this we're just going to drag, and now we're going to set this variable. So we're going to take the gun up and down. We can just drag it on the arrow of add control pitch input, and it's going to do a set for us. And we're going to now plug the plus and the turret machine gun up and down, and we're all set with that. So now, same as before, we can do a print string, and this time we're going to change the hello for gun up / down. And if we compile and we go here, if we go up and down, you can see that it's doing gun up and down. If we go left and right, turret. You see that our control are working very well. So we're going to select all of that and press C on our keyboard to do our comment. And obviously we're going to make that we know exactly what this is doing. So it's going to be our machine gun up and down, which is the Y axis, and this obviously will also works with the anim BP for our vehicle. So that's, you don't have to put that comment, obviously I'm putting it just to remember. So same as before, we're going to use this in our animation blueprint to match our control at the same time. So when we move our mouse up and down, it's verifying that we're not free look by holding Alt on our keyboard. It's going to have the control pitch, which is our up and down. And the access value also will set this add the new value to it and set that. So every time we move, it's going to set the new value here. So we are able to use that with our animation blueprint. And obviously it's printing this on our screen so we can see that our control are working properly. So we do have all our controls set up and working. So we're going to go to the next step. Here we are. So the next step will be our animation blueprint. So you can access your animation blueprint by clicking on the mesh and clicking on the browse here. But obviously now we are in the master class, so we don't have any animation blueprint assigned to that. So we can go to our content browser, and the animation shall be in my folder here. So ABP underscore Oshkosh, and we're going to open this. So when we're in it here, we're going to go to the event detail graph here. And we're going to start doing our code. So having our control match with the animation of the vehicle. So first thing, we're going to drag from the event blueprint update animation, and we're going to cast to our character, which is the BP underscore Oshkosh. So we're going to not cast to the master class, but we're going to cast to this specific vehicle. So cast to BP Oshkosh and not the ABP. So it's really important that you only take the blueprint. And we're going to take the object and put that in the try get pound owner. So from this now, we're going to drag and we're going to search for the variable that we created. So we created a turret variable, which is the left and right. So we're going to do a get. We're going to repeat that process again with turret, and this time it's going to be the machine gun left and right. And once more, we're going to do this again, and we're going to search for turret, and we're going to take the machine gun up and down. So now we do have our three control that we're using in our blueprint. Now they are accessible to our animation blueprint. And now we're just going to drag from here, and here we're going to create the variable for animation blueprint that's going to be exactly the same name or very close to this, so to keep that organized much as possible. So we're going to go to the variable right here. We're just going to create one variable, and we're going to copy the name here, so really important so we don't get too confused. So it's going to be Tourette left and right, but I'm going to start with ABP, which is the animation blueprint. So that way we know that this one is from the animation blueprint. We're going to change the value for float, and we're going to duplicate this, or you can create a new one. Obviously, it's everything you want. It's not a big deal. So it's going to be Tourette, and this one will be our machine gun left and right. We're going to create another one. So it's going to be ABP and Tourette. It's going to be, once again, machine gun, but it's going to be up and down. And now we're just going to take those three variables and set them according to the good one here. So we're going to start with the left and right. We're going to put that on the arrow of our cast actor here. Just going to plug those two together. And I'm going to repeat the same process with the other one. So we're just matching the name with the good name. And we're going to do the same thing once again here. And we're going to drag and put it there. So we're just going to do a little reroute node. So it's look a little bit more professional and organized. I'm a little bit obsessive with that sometimes. So select all of that and press Q. It's put everything in line for us. And it's look way better. Okay, so what this is doing, well, when the animation blueprint is starting, it's casting to our character, and every time our character will receive the input left, right on our turret or up and down, it's going to set the variable from the animation blueprint, so we are able to use that to trigger the animation of the turret at the same time. So we're just going to compile on the top here all our code. Now we're going to go to the anim graph. So we have the anim graph here, so we can just double click on it. So previously we did the control for our wheels. So we're just going to take the component local and the output post, and we're just going to move that on the side here. And here is going to be very, very simple. So we're just going to drag from the wheel controller, and we're going to search for transform, and we're going to take the transform modify bone, and we're going to duplicate that because we need two. And we're going to make sure that we're plugging this one to the other transform and the last transform to the component. Okay, so here, every time we're moving our machine gun in our input with our mouse, we need to use the rotation here. So, but we only need to use a certain axis, right? So we're going to click on the rotation, and we're going to split the structure, so which giving us access to X, Y, and Z. We're going to repeat the same process for the one below. So on the top here will be our left and right for our turret. So we're going to take left and right for our turret, just drag it on your board and do a get, and we're going to plug this to the Z axis, and we're going to repeat the same process for the machine gun left and right, and I'm going to do a get. This one will be plugged to the Z down here, and the up and down, if we get that, and we're going to plug this to the Y for the pitch, as the pitch is up and down, so we're plugging the value up and down, and Z is our left and right, so we're plugging that right there. So now we have our code, and obviously you can see that when we compile, it's giving us a warning. So if we click on the first transform, it's because on the first transform, we have to tell them which bone we want to move. And we want to move the turret left and right. So we need the kind of here, if you see my mouse cursor on the bottom here, we need this bone right here, right? So to get this bone, well, we're going to click on the modify bone here, and we're going to search for our turret. And the bone corresponding to the turret is the turret underscore ENT. So we're going to take this. And if we go all the way down here, we need to make sure that the rotation mode is set to replace the existing one. So we're going to click on replace, and compile. And now you can see that now there's no more warning on it. So we're going to repeat the same process for the second transform, but this time this one is for the gun itself, right? So we're going to select for the bone and we're going to search for gun, and this time it's going to be our gun, and it's going to be the ENT. So we're going to take this one. So the bone is kind of this one here on my mouse, so it's right here, and if we go up and down, the gun will go up and down. If we were selecting the same as the turret, the turret will be moving up and down. It's not what we want. We want the gun to go up and down, but not left and right, because it needs to be attached to the socket. So the turret go left and right, and the gun go up and down. It's why all our value are separated like this. So here, same as before, we got our gun here, and we need to replace the rotation to the existing one. So just click on replace and compile. So now here you have, so we have all the animations set for our vehicle. So if we try this out and we do play, we're going to have one more thing to fix. But as you can see here, the turret is moving when we're moving our mouse. So that's exactly what we want. But you can see that the camera is not following. So we just need to attach the camera. So the last part is just to attach the camera to our gun, so we can have the camera right behind and following exactly where the gun is looking. Well, now we're going to, it's depend on what exactly your project is. So I have the master class and the vehicle that we're currently using. As you can see here, there's a camera here, but because this blueprint uses the master class, I won't be able to attach it to a bone. So we need to attach the bone to the turret of the vehicle, so the camera will follow the turret every time we move. So to do this, if you only have one vehicle, you're going to take your main vehicle and you're just going to go on the spring arm, and you're going to click here on the parent socket, and you'll be able to attach that to the good one. However, because I use the master class, I have to do this from the master class. So obviously, probably later I'm going to fix this, but for now, just to show you how that works. So we have the four-wheel vehicle masterclass. We're going to go all the way down, and we're going to locate the spring arm. We're going to go to the viewport to see exactly what we're doing. So here with the spring arm, we're going to attach the spring arm, which is that line here, to the turret itself. So you can see here there's no parent socket. So when we move our turret, this doesn't move as well. So we're going to click here on the browse folder, and we're going to search for the let me check here, make sure I give you the good one. We're going to search for the gun. So it's going to be gun, and it's going to be the gun ENT. So we're going to search for this. There we go. Now you can see the camera is attached up there. So to fix that little issue here on the transform location in the detail panel, you have 300 here. So if we click on the return arrow, it's going to reset the position right behind our weapon, and we can compile. So now if we go and try it, so now you can see the camera is following our gun. So there's two ways, right? You can see that it's kind of smooth now, and you could obviously go there and click on your spring arm, and there's the lag option here. If we search, so we have enable camera lag. So if we remove the camera lag, just to show you, and we compile, and you can see it's way more snappy now. You can see the difference. It's like it's go exactly where you want, but doesn't really look great. Well, in my view, I don't think it's look great, so I really don't want. If you want really snappy control, you're gonna need to do this. If you want a little bit more smooth control, well, you're gonna enable the lag for the rotation and the lag itself, and you're gonna compile, and now you have that effect here. You can see that the camera is following just a little bit behind, so I think it's look a little bit better than having that snapping to the location. So here you have your gun that go at the direction that you're moving your mouse, and the animation obviously is following what you control. So this will be pretty much this for this video. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.